see all these guys that are running now, and I see what they're going through, and know they're going to go through it for 2 years. You better really, really want to do that. And at this point in my life, I don't have that kind of burning passion to do that. So who knows, life changes, but at this point now, it's a little hard to see that happening.
Governor, there was, well, you had the FCC ruling last week, and you've got some legislators wanting you guys to appeal. You wrote the FCC a letter, as did your Attorney General, before you closed, objecting and saying, no, don't do this. Should the state appeal that decision?
Yeah, we're going to have that conversation. I don't know the answer yet as to whether you have to, before you decide to appeal something, you have to make certain there's a reasonable reason to do that. And I don't know enough to have that. So we'll have the conversation with Dwight Tarwater, and then obviously he'll have with the Attorney General as well to see if that's something that makes sense.
Well, I mean, the EPB went to FCC on this because they're continually stymied for in the General Assembly by AT&T and various other providers who are not providing gigabit service themselves. I mean, just as a general proposition, from an economic perspective and trying to get fast-speed internet to places, I mean, why not go with the FCC decision if AT&T is going to block them and not provide the service themselves?
And that could be. I just don't know enough about it. To be honest, we'll need to dig into where we are legally now to do that. And there is an argument that people getting service that they don't have now, that there's a value in that. So we'll do our homework and come back and decide on the appeal.
Well, Governor, you mentioned in your talk that local government always knows best, and in this case, this is a local government that wants to provide this to other local areas. Why is the state involved at all?
Well, I think the question obviously is the local government subsidizing something that makes it hard for a business to compete? And so my point was local government usually knows best because it's closer to the customer. But when there's issues that kind of transcend their boundaries, then the state, I think, does have.
But is it a competition issue when the private providers aren't providing service in places like Jackson, Morristown?
I think that's a fair question. So I think you have to come back and look and see, what's the net gain. I mean, our job is to create a level playing field and then to do everything we can to have it be a net gain to the state.
Do you think there is cross-subsidization? I mean, it's prohibited.
I don't know enough to know. I mean, it is prohibited, so it's hard for me to say.
Governor,
I don't know enough, Andy, to be honest.
There are a handful of gun-related bills coming up this week, spanning different subjects. Are there particular gun laws that you think need to change, or are there particular restrictions that you think need to be loosened, or is that not?
I mean, obviously, none of the bills are coming out of our office, so we don't have any proposals there. I mean, I think there are a couple of big ones. The kind of the guns in parking lots, or guns in trunks part 2, and the guns in parks is back, and those are two things that we'll be following, mainly because there's other issues involved with them. With guns in parks, it's, well, who owns the property and who should get to make that. Guns in parking lots, it's, again, the same question about businesses. So those aren't new arguments on either one of those for us.
So do you oppose that guns in parks?
We actually we're having some discussions now. We have not come down with a final position on what we're going to do. Again, and the concern there is more just, the 4 big city mayors were in the office. We all probably saw them around this day, and their point is, hey, we bought and paid for these parks. We should be able to decide what happens to them. Flip side, there's another side of the story.
You've been against in the past. Are you changing your position on this now?
We hadn't yet. We're just.
Why is there even a debate? What's changed?
Well, I think we're just having the discussion with them and with everyone else about will the legislation look just the same as it did before. There's been some discussion about that might change.
What about the guns and boxes?
The guns and trunks. Again, we haven't come to a final decision on that. We'll have a position.
You mentioned that the automakers, those big fish don't come in.
Right.
Did your office make a push for Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta?
We actually did not on the Mercedes deal when they moved that out of New Jersey to Atlanta. They actually that was not something they were out talking about. They just pretty much just did. And so while we heard some late talk that they might be interested in, we didn't really know about it. So I think they had made a decision. We're going to move this out of New Jersey. We're going to go to Atlanta. It wasn't one of those. We're going to go out and have a competitive scenario.
Governor, President of the EPA announced last week and repeated yesterday before the House Finance Committee that utilities consider raising the number percentage of out-of-state students to 25%, which is basically double now. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think the philosophy in the university's defense, in the old days when we paid 70% of the cost and the student paid 30%, there was a reason to to have it be to be in the form that it was. Now with that switch and us paying 30% and them paying 70%, I think they're going to say, well, if we're going to do that, then we have to make the economics work for us. So I think that's one of the strategies. We obviously still want University of Tennessee and all of our in-state schools to be predominantly Tennessee students. There is an upside to us if they do that. Most of those students, if they come here, there's a lot better chance they'll stay here. And the University of Memphis is exploring some similar ideas as well.
Governor, on vouchers, 2 bills, one Kelsey, one the other one is
your other guy.
Yeah, Garden Hire. And your spokesman has said that y'all are more likely to fund garden hires. Why is that? Is there a problem with Kelsey?
No, it's just how it first came. First, that one came to us in the form that had been most like the bill that we had proposed last year, and so both the members who are interested in vouchers and then the advocates who've been pushing for that, who we've been working with for the last 2 or 3 years, both kind of came to us and said, if we get this passed, because they knew we weren't going to propose it, would you all fund it? Would you fund it in the budget? And we said we would, as long as it looked like this. And the Dunn Garden Hire bill, when it came out, was the one that looked like that.
And Kelsey, I guess, has later amended his.
Yeah.
And so, is there a trust issue there? Or?
No, I just, we told them we will support a bill that looks like this, and that's the one that did that.
Governor, the Black Caucus is still calling for Representative Butt to apologize. Do you think that she should apologize or lose her leadership post?
Again, in terms of leadership posts, that's the General Assembly's decision, not mine. In terms of apology, Sheila will have to, explain what she said and what she meant, and whether an apology is needed. My point in this whole thing has been, I honestly think we need to have more open conversations about race in Tennessee and in the country too, for that matter. And my first point would be Facebook's not the place to do that, but I think there are some forums where that needs to happen.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.